We spend thousands of hours consuming television and movies where the entire plot relies on characters making unethical choices. Without bad actors breaking the rules, the narrative engine stalls. Dramas require a villain to function. Consuming this steady diet of cinematic conflict alters our baseline for reality. We begin expecting the professional world to mirror the screen. Subconsciously, we start to romanticize the rebel, the anti-hero who bends the law to achieve a specific result. We absorb the persistent lie that achieving a high level of success requires stepping over the line. But step into a tax accounting firm or a corporate management meeting, and you will find a very different reality. When you hit an ethical crossroads in your career, the room doesn't go dark. There is no swelling orchestral score to warn you. Temptation arrives in silence. It shows up on a random Tuesday, tucked inside a spreadsheet, offering a personal advantage if you look the other way. In the moment, these decisions rarely feel like life-altering crossroads. They feel like minor administrative shortcuts. Applying thriller movie logic to a mundane Tuesday leaves you entirely exposed. You can make selfish, destructive choices without even realizing you've crossed a line. In the professional realm, business ethics functions as a daily discipline. It involves a repetitive series of choices rather than a single moment of cinematic heroism. Following the rules is effortless when they are in our favor. Nobody struggles to comply with a tax code that saves them $1,000. The actual test of your character arrives when the rules work against you, stripping away all your comfort. It is the conscious choice to comply, even when it directly costs you money or prestige. To understand justified rule-breaking, we plot personal risk against benefit to others. Acceptable? Yes, through selflessness. Take self-defense, risking your safety for an external benefit. Contrast that with breaking rules purely for self-benefit. Risking nothing for others is a failure of character. Our brains avoid admitting to selfish behavior, so they deploy a mechanism to protect our egos, the rationalization trap. We twist our own greedy desires. We convince ourselves that bending a rule is a necessary, victimless action required by the circumstances. Because everyday life lacks immediate, cinematic consequences, slipping into this rationalization is remarkably easy. No director yells cut to tell you you've become the bad actor. Countering that trap requires you to stop and use moments of temptation for intense self-reflection. You must honestly ask yourself if you are breaking the rule simply because you want the personal payoff. Temptation is quiet, and rationalization is comfortable. Therefore, ethics requires rigorous daily character maintenance. This chart plots time against character stability, showing the long-term, compounding effects of maintaining that daily ethical practice throughout a career. Every single time you pause, reflect, and choose the ethical route over a selfish shortcut, you incrementally harden your character against future temptations. This slow, steady behavior would make a terrible movie script. It lacks action, but it builds absolute, unbreakable, real-world stability. That financial stability connects directly to your long-term psychological peace of mind. Success built on a foundation of ethical shortcuts introduces a persistent psychological friction. That unresolved weight eventually destabilizes the professional's life, creating the sudden, violent urge to abandon everything they've worked for. Arriving at the peak of your profession with a clean conscience drastically reduces the urge to go off the rails or burn your life down later on. Ultimately, the value of success depends entirely on the type of unshakable character you built along the way. That is the only thing that allows you to survive and enjoy it.